So I did have the opportunity to see you guys 2 years ago, and was speaking to someone about what a night and day difference it was for this year's set. And so, how much of the tightness and the cohesiveness of your life set now do you attribute to continuing to like tinker and fine tune it on the road?
All of it, every bit of it. I mean, the more you do something, hopefully the better you get at it. We play a lot of shows, so it's good to hear that we've gotten tighter and progressed. But yeah, just getting out there, playing as many shows as you can. We travel a bunch, and the more you do it, then kind of the more things get tightened up, and the more comfortable we feel in the live setting.
How about for you guys in terms of like when you're playing your oldest, now it's funny to say that for 5 years, but your oldest Bronze Radio Return material, are you still finding new things to make it both cooler and more fun to play out on the board?
Always looking to tweak the songs and make it fresh, and so even this, the older tunes from the first albums, we're always kind of changing around in rehearsal and trying to make it pop and fresh.
Yeah, whether it's a full or new arrangement of a song or just a personal part, just something to keep it interesting and maybe like a little more challenging sometimes too, because when you play a song so many times you kind of just get into a routine, but we try to make sure we don't feel like it's a routine, and we try to keep it interesting and challenging every time.
And you guys are going into the studio in the fall for a new album? Are you working on or have music done already pretty much?
It's in the process.
Are you thinking of maybe you're at the point now where you might be introducing some new instrumentation, or maybe tweaking the direction a little bit, going into some of this more kind of synthesizer, keyboard oriented or pop oriented stuff?
I don't know. I mean,
keep it rootsy.
I think we want to keep it, on the rootsier side. I think it's kind of cool to pull from different flavors, pull from, a piano-driven thing or guitar-driven thing or sound-driven thing. I think the idea will just be make the best, most cohesive record that shows a progression in our sound, yet is still relatable to the material we've been making prior to this.
Well, a lot of the old school performers that I interview talk about how they're in the produce aisle at Mayfair grocery store, and they hear a Muzak version of their song playing. You guys are kind of in an interesting place because you're sort of blessed with getting a massive amount of exposure with your music being on a television commercial.
Yeah.
In fact, probably, I would dare say most of the new audience you have probably either concurrently learned about you from being on the radio or buying your records or on satellite and on the commercial, or maybe even just on the commercial first. Are you getting people walking up to you saying, once we heard you on the commercial, we wanted more and more and more?
Definitely, we do hear from people a lot that hear our music. It's exposed us to a lot of people. I mean, depending on the type of placement that has been in these commercials, sometimes it's more effective than others. If it's a commercial that has all the vocals in it, it's much more recognizable, and people can search out the song a lot easier and discover us easier than if it's just, say, an instrumental version of it. But we certainly hear from people all the time about stuff being on TV, and fans of it.
And I guess it helps when the commercial doesn't play like on XYZ channel late at night, but it's some real high-profile event, right?
Right. And the way I think about it too is like if it goes on a commercial and 1 million people hear it, and 500 people take the time to then go look it up and find the band and then come to a show, it's still 500 more people that wouldn't have known about our music. So it's a great opportunity for us to get a new audience.
Yeah.
Great. Thank you guys. John Voket from 99.1 PLR. Live from the Gathering of the Vines with Hartford's own, Connecticut's own, Bronze Radio Return. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.